What's up, everyone? This is Isaac from Hunger Smash Fitness. Just wanted to make another video today. I've had a couple of people ask me about just programming, writing an exercise program, and I have not taken formal classes on programming, but just from what I've found, what I've read, what I've heard from other people, and just from my own studies on myself, this is what I found to be the most effective. So I always start with heavy compound lifts at the beginning, and then do assistance work, assistance exercises in the middle, and then if I'm going to do cardio, I'll finish with cardio at the end. And a big part of this is at the beginning of the workout, you know, all your glycogen stores, everything is full. And so especially when you're doing heavy loads, that's using your whole body. So for instance, the deadlift, the squat, bench, overhead press to an extent, stuff like that where you're going to be using big muscle groups to be moving a lot of weight. You especially want to be paying attention to your form, and you want your body as prepped as possible. So if you're fatigued, you're much more likely to have your form break down. You're much more likely to just be at increased risk of injury. So especially... So let's look at the squat, for instance. Squat is going to be using your full body. A lot of people view it as more of a leg workout or something like that. But really you're utilizing everything. Upper back, lower back, glutes, hips, legs, even to an extent your pecs and everything else, because you're pulling the bar onto yourself. So it's a full body workout. And if done improperly, you are at increased risk of injury. You're more likely to hurt yourself. And so for that reason, you want to make sure that you're fresh, that you're in a good place to actually do this movement correctly, to actually perform it correctly, and do it with as little risk of injury as possible, with as much potential benefit as possible. So with that, it's really interesting because with the squat, for instance, a lot of time when you're building muscle, you're going to be building muscle by lifting heavier weights. You don't build as much muscle when you're lifting lighter weights for a lot of reps. You're going to build more muscle when you're lifting heavy weights for fewer reps. And there's a lot of different studies showing both of that. I think if you're going to be doing a lot of reps, it's better to be doing more of the assistance work. So assistance work for the squat, for the deadlift, Bulgarian split squat, or lunges, or leg press, calf raises, those would be more assistance work for those major compound movements. So if I was structuring like a squat workout, I would be doing my back squat or front squat first, and then I would be looking at my other movements that I might be doing. So if I was having issues with like my low back wasn't firing properly, I might throw in some good mornings. Might do some Bulgarian split squats or some lunges, like I said, some hack squats. I would use those more as assistance work. And then finishing, then I would go run for a while, or I'd go ride the bike for a little bit, or I'd go row for a while, and do something that's going to help finish off the muscles. And you're not going to be, with the cardio side of it, you're not going to be building as much muscle. And so I would say that the main focus, you need to pick and choose what the main focus of your workout is going to be. However, if you're training for a marathon or something like that, you may be viewing, squats and deadlifts and stuff like that as assistance work to try to improve your run time. And so you may not be going for a 1 rep map run 1 rep max or a 3 rep max, you may be shooting more for 5 to 8 or something like that. Trying to build that more of the prolonged power rather than the initial force, basically just the 1 rep. So it kind of depends on what your final goal is, but even with that, I would still do the strength training first and the cardio after. And especially, like I said before too, as you fatigue, your risk of injury goes up significantly because your form breaks down. And so that's one thing that I think it's wonderful for everybody to do is every once in a while, take some time. And even if you do, I mean, you could do this every session when you're doing your warm-ups and everything. Treat your warm-ups like they are your max. And so with every movement, every squat, you want to be looking at that as if this is my max. I am practicing doing my max. And that's one way to help reduce your risk of injury is because you're treating everything as if it's the actual movement, as if it's the actual thing. So just some thoughts on that. I've had a couple people ask me about different programming stuff, and again, like I said, I haven't been professionally trained on writing programs or anything like that, but this is, with several years, close to 10 years of fitness training and experience and looking stuff up and just my own personal opinion, this is what I found to be the most effective. And so that's about it for today. Just remember, please like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out a lot. Let me know what else you'd like to hear about. And just remember to always improve that 1% every day. It doesn't have to be a drastic change. We're not trying to turn your life around overnight. It's 1% every day, just a small change. Pick one thing and just change something about it. So anyways, that's all for today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.